Ahoy! Marty and Max here.
Hey, you have a captain's shirt on. How exciting.
I know. This is PAX Prime 2015. We saw a lot of video games. There's a lot of VR. And Max, you sailed to the island of Oculus Touch.
I sure did. Oculus Touch, which sounds very sensual, is of course those new little gauntlets you put right over your fingers. It is effectively, it feels like a cross between a really ergonomic mouse and a PlayStation Move. You've got these little lanyards that go around your wrists, and you wrap your hand around this thing. It was that lovely image that was floating around where it sort of looked like Palmer Luckey was flipping the bird. Not really sure what to make of these. I was under the impression that they were mostly motion sensing, and they are a little bit. They've got IR that basically tracks what your fingers are doing, but there are also a couple of buttons that you use to basically grab stuff, pick it up. I was, as has become kind of commonplace in a really weird way, I was put into a very weird small room, and they put a thing on my face that put me into virtual reality, and then they're like, someone's going to come and put these things in your hands. And I was basically in kind of a virtual playroom. There were a bunch of blocks, and I was sort of just picking up the blocks and throwing them around, and the guy who was walking me through this was also wearing an Oculus rig, and I could sort of see his ghost. Ooh. So it was weird because it's the first time I've been in VR with somebody else. It's not just been a disembodied voice. Yeah, they basically walked through a bunch of sort of tech demo-y stuff, most fun of which was lighting off fireworks in VR. The table miraculously covered itself with M80s and Roman candles and Zippo lighters, and I was just like throwing crap around and being a bad teenager.
So we both have played Morpheus before, and we played the London Heist demo where you sort of are able to like pick up clips and put them in guns and open drawers and everything, and how did that compare to this?
So the PlayStation Move obviously is a much simpler device. The Oculus Touch, they're clearly giving a lot of more options, in the same way that a keyboard has more buttons than a controller. It feels, this felt much more tech demo-y, whereas London Heist feels closer to a real game. Meanwhile, the Oculus Touch, there are buttons on there. There are things that didn't do anything in my demo, but obviously it being a PC device, you can map them to things.
Totally. Yeah, that's really interesting. I feel like everything we've seen so far in VR, whether it be Morpheus or Vive or Cast AR, are really cool sort of proof of concepts, and I'm sort of waiting for the first one where I'm like, oh, that's the thing I'm going to play at home.
Exactly. That's really the thing. We were at a point where it was like, this is promising, and here we are a few years later, and it's like, it works, it just doesn't have anything to do, you know?
Yeah, I think we're going to get there soon. Max, thank you so much. We're going to have so much more on everything VR and Morpheus and Oculus right here, PAX Prime 2015. Don't go anywhere, IGN.com.